What's up, you guys? Hope this finds you well. Welcome to Samsara YouTube channel. We're doing a little series on packing and packing habits. So I did one on my backcountry kit, kind of the basics, the essentials. Now I'm going to do one on the technical kit. So don't take any of this as being prescriptive as to this is what you should do. It's just what I do. And I think going into the mountains is all about meeting the challenges of the mountains with creative solutions. So exactly how different people do it can be great, and don't get too hung up on this is one right way. Okay, I'm gonna go from left to right and cover what I think are the most important parts of my kit. Okay, so these are Wolverine snow products. They are made by my friend Joey Bosberg, who's a legendary snowboard guide, and I've been seeing this style of pull out a lot where there was no strap and no one fixed handle. And at first I didn't like it, but then I was really thinking about how indifferent, as the terrain shape changes, your grip could change too, and that would be really nice. So I decided to check them out, and they're also adjustable, which is cool for long flat approaches. And I've been pretty psyched. I've been really psyched. They're really unique in the way that they've kind of made me use my poles, and that's been great. But I do drop them sometimes, or at least I did when I first got them. It takes a minute to get used to not having a grip. So that can be a little bit of a challenge, but I've had them for a month, and now it seems like they're not falling out of my hands anymore, so thumbs up for that. Okay, on tools. So 2 tools I thought I'd show. This is made by this Russian dude. It's called Ice Rock Idol, and it was given to me as a gift. And the first thing you notice when you get it is it's so light. It's a single piece of carbon fiber, and it's just insanely light. So I thought it'd be really light, but not necessarily really effective. And I've climbed easy ice, like grade 3 ice. I've chopped a platform in glacial ice for a bivy site. That tool is amazing. It's a great tool. So it's expensive, but it's been very durable and is ridiculously light. And then the other tool I carry a lot is the Petzl Gully. And the gully with the hammer is a pretty sweet Teton tool because we do bash a lot of pins here, or we often use anchors that rely on pins. So you might want to have a tool to improve them if the crack's expanded, or you just need to smash them in a bit further. So having a hammer is awesome. This thing's also really short, and so it fits inside my pack, which is where I like it. And has this pinky slider, which really makes a big difference when you are swinging it. Lightweight hammers are much harder to smash pins with, so keep that in mind. But it's really nice when you're carrying it. And then crampons. So 2 crampons that I use, both Petzl crampons. These are the leopards, and you can see these are still in summer mode. I haven't used them this year, but this will just pull out and I'll put a toe bail on there. And then full aluminum with these cords, and I thought the cords would snap, but the first time I used them was for 10 days in the Tantalus range, and there was no wear or tear on the cord after just traipsing all over sharp rocks for 2 weeks. Couldn't believe it. So those are awesome, but they are aluminum. They have short, stubby front teeth, so there's limitations on rock sometimes, or definitely on ice, I think. And then you can just bump to this. This is the same thing, but it's a steel toe. So if you climb ski somewhere where you are climbing around on rock, like in the Sierra, maybe starting the Tetons, and you just have to have one pair, I'd say the Urbis hybrids are great, but these are lighter, which of course is nice. And then I've used rad ropes since they came out, really, and now there's so many other manufacturers that seem to be making really great lightweight ropes. I haven't checked them out, so I've just used rads and they've been great. These ones are 5 years old, and I don't know how many days I've rappelled and climbed around the Tetons, around sharp rock, and it looks brand new. It's crazy to me. The durability is nuts on these things. I got a 60 and I cut it into a 40 and a 20. I really like that. In the Tetons, we get a lot done with a 40 meter. So that's great. I don't want to carry a 60 meter, even of a light rope. That really is way too much rope. So 40 does a lot of the job. And a 20 is really sweet for a lot of days, excuse me, when I don't even think I need a rope. And I'm just taking one just in case to go look on the other side of a ridge, or maybe ski cut a little pocket, or test snow surface with just a little bit of backup. So I carry my 20 a lot. Carried it today, didn't use it, but it didn't really matter. It wasn't that big a deal. A lot of days I'll take it even without a harness. Just tied around my waist. Same thing with my partner, we can do a lot that way. And then if I am carrying a harness, this is the harness I've used. This is the Altitude. I'm super psyched on this harness because it has a belay loop, and a lot of new ski mountaineering harnesses don't. It's a personal preference thing because the others are just as safe. You just clip the two loops together. But when you're doing things that last a little while and you're climbing and ascending, I end up with a lot of kit, and my attachment to the anchor and all of that, I like that to just be clean and on a big belay loop. Room for another carabiner below if I want to use a third hand. I like having a belay loop. So to have an ultralight harness that still has a big belay loop, I'm psyched. Then, you know, obviously this kit, the clippy bits, that's just going to depend on the mission. What I've taken to doing quite often is carrying this little kit. So if I know that I'm building anchors on the way down, I just let this kit kind of stay like this. So it's a couple of bugaboos, or usually bugaboos. Those are the ones I use the most in the Tetons. A few stoppers, and then some 6mm nylon cord. This is a tool for V-threading, which we don't do very much of around here, but some terrain does, so that would be that. And then non-locking carabiner with a little bit of tape, so you can just tape the gate shut. That seems to be a good setup. Obviously, you're not going to get through a lot of anchor building with that kind of kit, but if your partner's carrying the same thing, then usually, you know, you can get quite a lot done. Okay, and then, so nylon, same thing there. Double length nylon sling. If I'm going to attach myself to the anchor, this is what I tend to use because it doesn't cut as easily if it's under tension and the rope's running over it as it does as the Dyneema does, and it has a little bit of dynamic element. So if you slip and shock load it quickly, it's not going to shock load your body and create as high forces as the Dyneema does. So it's kind of bulky and big, but I do tend to take that, especially if it's more than one rappel. A couple of lockers. Oh, and on lockers, these SMD pencil lockers, I've been psyched because they never ice up, which I can't say that about any locker I've ever used before this. And they're really easy to operate with gloves, and they're very light, so psyched on those. And then I do use the third hand hollow block a lot in the wintertime. Well, I mean, I use it all year, honestly. I don't trust myself to just hold ropes. I've seen things go wrong, so I always use that. And then with the ultralight skinny ropes, you got to be even more on point. So I do tend to use a third hand backup and then reverse out. A lot of times I won't take goggles when I'm going to the high peaks because I'm not skiing as fast, and even if it's POW, it's probably not like ultra deep. It's probably not blowing up in my face. And I'm trying to take as little stuff as possible. So then I've gotten really psyched on these jewel bow shields because they seal my whole face off, but they're much more low profile and they're perfect mountain glasses. So for me, I've been skipping the goggles. And then gloves, I think, are so important because you've got to be able to move quickly. And if you've got to take your gloves off, that's a disaster. You can't be building anchors and like fiddling with ropes with your gloves off. You've got to get used to working with your gloves on. You could drop your gloves. Your hands only last so long. It takes way too much time. So find gloves that you can work with. These Hestra Ergos, these are Ergo Grip Incline. This is my favorite uphill glove. And what I always do is I check if I can go thumb to each finger. And that's usually a good indicator for me that I'll be able to get work done around carabiners. So if you're trying them on in the store, these are some older Ergo grips, and these things are just my favorite. But they do make a modern version. So check these out, Ergo grips. And then always in the bottom of my pack is a stuff sack or two, and that's a good backup anchor. So you just open it up, stuff it with snow, and I really like these roll top closures. I think that's really helpful. It's a much more solid closure than just like a drawstring with a little Fastex buckle. And I've wrapped off of many third stuff sacks in the right snow. That can be a bomber anchor. So I can remember times where we thought we had enough material and we didn't, and we all had stuff sacks and we got out just fine. Obviously you're leaving something behind, which is not that sweet. So I don't really plan on rappelling off of things I'm gonna leave in the snow. A few thoughts on layers. So if it's more steep skiing, then it becomes pretty energetic, almost like as much as the way up. So I don't want like this big free ride shell thing. So then like Houdini Air, oversized a little bit for more of a ski cut, and then Nano Air underneath. So that's like quite warm for being in high alpine places, but it's really breathable. And I think that's pretty key for thinking about layers on the way down in a way that's pretty different than when you just have free ride ski. Okay, I think we covered it all. I hope that got your wheels turning a little bit on how you can approach different challenges and what kind of gear is going to help you solve the problems. Thanks for watching, and see you out there.